So this is a continuation of the earlier part 1 of the case study digest, where the last 6 minutes there was an audio issue. I'm just resuming from where the audio went off. Yeah, so you see, avoiding delays in takeoff and landing. Cancellation of flight shouldn't happen at all. I was telling you about how Indigo Airlines is doing a fine job in this regard, and how one airline, I think it was Go Air, which always used to have some issue or the other, and the flights used to be cancelled. And then prime landing slots. What do you mean by this? Prime landing slots is about identifying, negotiating with the Airports Authority of India, various entities that manage the airport, so that you get prime landing slots, be it in the form of airports, be it in the form of the timing. Nowadays people like to travel only in the early hours of the morning, or in the late evening hours. During the daytime, as far as possible, they try to avoid, because many of them are business travelers. So try to negotiate and get prime landing slots. That is what this company BA Group must do. More visible and passenger friendly ground staff. This makes a lot of difference, because people like to be helped, people like to be supported, people like to be assisted when they enter the airport, when they're going for cabin baggage, when they're going for checking and all those things. Next, well maintained, neat and clean aircraft is very important. Trained staff. The staff should know how to handle the passengers, how to take care of their concerns, and ensure that whatever they expect, it is delivered to them. Next, complimentary services in the form of free food and other refreshments. This is very important, because only then you will look different in the eyes of the customers when compared to the competitor. But it is important to maintain quality. Now, merely because you are giving it free of cost, it doesn't mean that you can throw whatever you have on the face of the customer. You need to maintain quality even if it is a complimentary service. Now, automatically another impact is premium pricing. Now, the minute you have differentiation advantage, you are unique and different from others, and there is a good possibility that you can charge premium pricing. How much premium should I charge? That is again an important issue. I can do one thing. Whatever additional facilities and additional services I am providing, for that particular additional facilities and services, I can go for increasing the cost only to that extent. So that is called covering the additional cost. Or I can also go for below full premium, in the sense that even though I am giving them additional facilities, I will try to go for not charging premium price. I will charge below premium price. Because of that, I will achieve both product differentiation and cost leadership. When I achieve both product differentiation and cost leadership, it's a very deadly combo. It's a success combo, wherein I'm having both cost leadership as well as product differentiation, and such kind of combination even customers will look forward to, and thereby you can get back the passengers. Please remember, in the given case BA Group, the company is not able to get passengers, though the market is growing. So therefore these initiatives will help him in getting customers. Then the other problem that we noticed was the foreign currency issue, wherein because of paying in dollars and the rupee is weakening against the dollar, foreign currency issue is arising. He is losing money in the form of loss due to foreign exchange. Here you can try to increase domestic flights, because when you go and when you do international flights, when your flight lands at an international airport, you need to pay to that airport authority landing charges, parking charges, and everything else in the form of foreign exchange. But if you increase domestic flights, your pure rupee transactions will increase. Thereby you can mitigate foreign exchange losses and still not lose out on revenue. Remember, we are not saying cancel international flights. We are saying increase domestic flights. I hope you understand. Explore hedging options also, my dear students. You have this in your SFM, wherein I take a position wherein I freeze the exchange rate for a particular payment in advance, so that I am mitigated, I am insulated, I am protected against any foreign exchange which is adverse to me. Then very interesting point was the ATF, aviation turbine fuel cost. If you remember, it is 40% of the operational cost of this company BA. Therefore, because of that, it's burning a hole in my pocket. My profitability is getting affected. My costs are increasing, because of which I am unable to generate surplus and I am incurring losses. So first initiative is to make a representation to the government on behalf of the industry. Try to get best rate possible reduction in taxes as far as fuel is concerned. request for a tax holiday so that you can save money, and buy an aircraft which consume less fuel. In other words, aircraft which has better mileage. One aircraft which is good is Airbus. You don't have to know this knowledge. You can just say go for invest in aircrafts which have more mileage and which consume less fuel. But there is a drawback here. The drawback here is that when I buy a new aircraft, I have to spend money. That is a capital investment. So once I make a capital investment, I am losing opportunity cost on that in the form of ROI. So therefore, I need to do a cost benefit analysis. What I am trying to say here is that return on investment on capital investment I have to calculate, and because of that, new flight, how much I am saving fuel cost I have to calculate. If not accurately, at least I should be able to get a rough idea, an approximation at the least. Now listen, when I am buying a new aircraft merely to save fuel cost, I need to assess how much fuel cost I am incurring with this new aircraft, how much fuel cost I used to incur earlier. Earlier fuel cost was more, now fuel cost is less. How much of fuel cost am I saving? This is something I really need to do a cost benefit analysis. Financial point of view, financial cost and financial benefit. When I do that, what happens is I will know savings in fuel cost. Savings in fuel cost is my benefit. On the other hand, because of buying the new aircraft, I am investing my capital in the new aircraft. That same capital, had I invested elsewhere, I would have got some return, and ROI will be there for the business. Whatever is the ROI applicable, apply that ROI on that capital investment and ascertain what is the opportunity cost. Then, if the savings due to fuel cost, savings in the fuel cost, if it is more than the ROI on capital investment, then you have to go ahead with the decision. Are you getting my point? No point in saving insignificant fuel cost and losing huge capital, huge ROI on my capital. So that is something which you have to elaborate in your answer. Coming to the next area, industry structure analysis. Why is it so important for this company? Because you saw while reading the case study, there are new budget carriers, new entrants who are coming and offering at much attractive prices to the passengers. So therefore, 5 forces of Michael Porter you have to elaborate, in which you have to focus more on threat due to new entrants, threat due to new substitutes, how you can mitigate that by achieving cost reduction and achieving cost leadership. One more thing I told you, Porter's 5 forces are dynamic in nature, they are not static in nature. So please remember this point, all of you. Next, number 9, very important point, value shop model. Please elaborate on this. Please understand, please make a running note also. Please understand that in service industry, according to Charles B. Stabile, the value shop model talks about problem solving and not value addition. This is where we see a complete deviation from the regular value chain analysis, what we know as far as Michael Porter is concerned. So what are we saying here is that value shop model is talking about problem identification, problem solving, identifying alternatives, various methods to solve the problem, execute the solution which you feel is most appropriate, and the process continues. This we have already revised. So in the given case, what happens? Even passengers will expect the same. Passengers will expect that the airline should solve my problem. If there is a delay in the in the flight, they have to inform in advance. They must make necessary arrangements. They must solve my problem. So therefore, the company must have a system in place wherein there is a dynamic mechanism for identifying the passenger's problem, identifying the ways to solve the problem, selecting the best suitable method to solve the problem, implementing that and repeating that. This iterative process has to be implemented by this airline as well in order to efficiently come across as a service-oriented industry and create value to the customers. And then you must conclude your answer by saying that by implementing the above ideas and techniques, the airline can mitigate its problem of not having passengers, and also it can make profits, it can help, it can enhance itself, it can perform, it can achieve superior performance and competitive advantage through cost leadership and product differentiation. This is the end of case study part 1, my dear students. This is a short video because it's a continuation of the earlier video where the audio was lost for the last 7 minutes. Thank you very much. I will meet you in the next video of the case study digest series. Thank you very much.